All right, good morning, sir. What is your name?
Jalen Williams.
One more time, slowly, please.
Jalen Williams.
Okay, Mr. Williams. First of all, Mr. Shark, can you put your appearances in? Mr. Williams has some traffic matters as well as the homicide case. Can you put your
Stephen Shark on behalf of Mr. Williams.
Okay, on both of these matters?
If the court would like.
Yes, this
Okay.
the first one is kind of perfunctory,
Right.
but he has some traffic matters at the arraign him on.
Okay.
So wait for a reading, stand mute on both of these matters?
Yes, sir.
All right. With respect to your tickets, Mr. Williams, you have some traffic matters in which you failed to appear in court for. The court will set aside these arrest warrants, give you a personal bond, and it's misdemeanor matter that carries a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be against you. You have a right to the attorney. You can afford an attorney. One will be appointed on your behalf. The pretrial court date for your ticket, sir, will be March 30th, 9 a.m. in front of Judge King. And now for your main matter, Mr. Williams, this is case number 260-559-6101. People say Michigan versus Jalen Williams. Mr. Sharp, you put in your appearance.
Yes, sir.
You waive formal reading, stand mute. The court in a not guilty plea. On behalf, who's handling this one? Mrs. Coyle?
Good morning, Your Honor. Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people. Good morning, Mr. Shark.
Morning, Ms. Coyle.
Okay. Good morning. I take it you're asking for a remand, Mrs. Coyle?
The people are requesting a remand in this matter, Your Honor. That is correct.
Proceed with your argument.
Okay, Your Honor, Mr. Williams is charged with not only felony murder, he's charged in the alternative of murder in the first degree, armed robbery, felony, firearm. I do know Mr. Williams is 25 years old. He has a prior conviction from 2021 for domestic violence under 769. The complaint in this matter, as the court will note, is Mason Tabor. Several of his family members are here today. He was 21 years old. The allegations are that the complainant went to Detroit to meet the defendant on a prearranged meeting to sell him a gun. We have this is a circumstantial case, and so it's quite lengthy, but the complainant's girlfriend was keeping a Life 360 communication with the complainant in order to show his location. That we have several instances of where the defendant, Mr. Williams, as well as a co-defendant, Mr. Heatley, met up with the complainant, Mr. Tabor, at a location on LaSalle in which they went to a park. They met at a park. They went into a vacant gymnasium, and that is where the armed robbery, felony murder occurred. We have several things in for which that we have officers did locate the complainant's iPhone and which was smashed, and car keys in a trash can near there, the abandoned gymnasium. Also, we have the relationship that the complainant and the defendant used to work together. The complainant was found in that vacant gym suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to his torso as well as head area. He was shot in the head. He was suffering from 7 gunshot wounds in total. There were multiple live rounds near the complainant's pants pockets. And I also note the part of indicia of robbery is they had pulled out his pants pocket. They were turned inside out, indicative of a robbery. Also, the police observed multiple shell casings near the complainant's body. We have a witness that said that the complainant had gotten off work early, was supposed to sell the defendant a gun at the defendant's house. This witness and the complainant were texting. The complainant got home 3:40 in the afternoon. At 4:08, the complainant texted the defendant who pulled up. And these we see through texts that were exchanged between, I'm not going to say the witness's name on camera here, but we have 3:40, complainant to be at the set location to sell a gun. That is the text. At 3:53, the complainant writes, he is taking forever. At 4:08, the defendant says he just pulls up, tells the witness that he was in a hurry going to rush home to see her. He also has got another witness that, and I'm not going to say this name, observed the defendant return home with the co-defendant, sees the defendant parked in the car outside their house, and knew the defendant was to buy a gun from the complainant. The complainant and the defendant were in contact a week prior before the sale of the gun. The witness heard 6 gunshots shortly thereafter near the park. Saw the defendant and Mr. Healy walk towards the vacant school. They were gone for 15 minutes. He told that witness to meet him at the Citgo. We've got the defendant on video camera at the Citgo, walking into the Citgo with, there's so much to this case. There's also, most importantly, there was another witness that defendant told them that Mr. Heatley shot the complainant. The complainant was on the ground begging for help, and Heatley shot the complainant in the head. Heatley told the defendant to go check his pockets, which means rob him, and then took the guns and left. The defendant made a direct statement to that complaint. Now there we have a snitch who talked to the officers that Heatley said that the defendant told him, Heatley told the snitch, the defendant, Mr. Williams, set up the white male to rob him of 40 caliber blue steel automatic. It was the defendant's plan was to shoot the complainant, that they gave him a nod, which meaning that the defendant nodded off and that Heatley then shot the complainant. They also re-interviewed that witness I talked to, that the plan was to rob the complainant, that he had shot off rounds to pretend that he was testing gun and beat him up and robbed him. So what we have here is from multiple witnesses that the defendant planned, premeditated the shooting and the robbery of Mr. Tabor, that they set him up by meeting him at this park. They go into the gymnasium. He's shot multiple times. He's captured on video at the Citgo. They also capture him on video at his mother's house. His mother tells him to burn his clothes, that they capture him on video coming out of her mother's garage holding a gas can with lighter fluid or whatever, and that he's then, the burned clothes are found on the barbecue grill. They also have the defendant's phone tracking to locating him to times and places consistent with the complainant's movement. Also, Mr. Heatley was on tether at the time. That tracks to time and location of the murder, tracks to that same Citgo. There's also defendant's Instagram discussing the sale of the gun for $500 with the complainant. There's so much to this, Your Honor. Those are just some brief synopsis of the IR that you as well have read. So for these reasons, Your Honor, not only is it premeditated murder, but it was premeditated robbery. And for these reasons, and he has a somewhat recent domestic violence history, I'm asking for that remand. He is a danger to the community.
Mr. Shark?
Judge, I understand these are just allegations.
Yes.
And I know the statute says that for first-degree murder that there should be no bond, but due to the fact my client does have one prior back in 2021, I respectfully ask for a reasonable bond in this matter.
Okay. Court having heard argument as to bond in this matter. This is a very, very unfortunate situation. Mrs. Coyle has gone into great detail with respect to her reasons for remand. Under MCR 6.106, I believe she's made a case for a rebuttable presumption of guilt in this matter. I will remand Mr. Williams for the reasons stated by Mrs. Coyle. We will remand Mr. Williams in the custody of Wayne County Jail while his case is pending for the reasons articulated by Mrs. Coyle on the record. Probable cause to be March 16th. Preliminary examination, March 23rd. They both will be in front of Judge Sean Jacquet. Mr. Sharg, is there anything else you want to put on the record?
No, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay. Mr. Williams, do you have any questions regarding your bond and or court dates only?
What's the dates?
March 16th, March 23rd, both in front of Judge Sean Jacquet. Anything else, Mr. Williams?
Nah, that's it.
Okay, have a good day. Step aside, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Have a
Shard.
good weekend. Thank you.
All right.
I know when I'm here, fuck my ways.